Hey beauty lovers and fellow entrepreneurs, I'm Yegi, the owner and founder of Yegi Beauty. Within 5 years of being my own boss, I was able to grow Yegi Beauty into a multi-million-dollar company. This podcast is where I share what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur in the beauty industry. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Yegi Project. Today we have Sohayb on our podcast and we're so excited to welcome him to speak about social media marketing in specific to the beauty industry and eyelash extensions. So today I want you to tell us, who are you and what do you do, Sohayb?
Yes. Thank you so much, first off, for having me on. So pretty much, I am the owner and CEO of LashLaunch. So we help lash artists get clients through paid ads.
Okay.
Yes.
So plain and simple, right? I
Yeah,
like it. I'm like,
honestly.
it's very specific. That's great. Okay, so we'll get more into the exactly how you accomplish that and how you can help lash artists out to grow their business. But before that, what is the best part of being an entrepreneur?
The best part is, well, first off, the flexibility. And the crazy thing is, like, I prefer working 120, 140 hours a week. Like, I couldn't do a 9 to 5. I need to work 16, 18-hour days. So I like that I could make my own schedule and control my destiny. There's no cap to what I could do. I can help as many people as I want, and there isn't a 9 to 5 shift. Like, I'm always thinking about work. How can I improve my product? How can I help more people? So that's my favorite part of being an entrepreneur.
Awesome. And what would you say the worst part is for you?
Worst part is of being an entrepreneur would definitely be the feeling of being a fraud, right? Like thinking like why
Yes,
should
I
anyone
totally know what you mean.
why should anyone listen to me? So that's the one of the worst parts. And the second part's like hoping you're going to be good every month, like the uncertainty of how the
Oh,
market's going
yes, of the money coming in.
to and the uncertainty of like what's going to happen in the market or what might go wrong this time, so a lot of uncertainty, but you kind of get used to it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
A little bit, you kind of get used to it,
And
but
you
it's
become
always
a
there.
better planner, I think, in order for you to, the months or weeks that are not as good as other months, you get better at planning for those.
Yes.
But yes, and I like to talk a little bit about the feeling like a fraud. I feel like even the lash artist or any entrepreneur like go through that phase, and it's really tricky to maneuver because people don't talk about it. And when people are speaking or working and when we see them on social media, we think of them as professionals and we take their word for it, what they're saying. But behind the scenes, people like us as well that are CEOs of our own company, we do sometimes sit down and question, like, wait, like, am I doing the right thing? And we do start questioning ourselves, thinking, am like, why are people going to listen to me? Am I the professional that I put out to be, right? So I think that's a good lesson for everybody else out there too, to kind of ignore. Like my advice to them would be just ignore those feelings and do your best and always aim to learn more about your position or what you're doing in order for you to feel more and more and more confident about what you're talking about or what you're doing. What would your advice be to people out there who feel like they might be a fraud as we
Yeah,
go in?
I would say no one, like not everyone, no one has it figured out. Like that's the biggest thing that got me past it. Like I look up to my mentors, and when I see them talk, I'm like, oh, they don't even know what they're doing. They just do. But the thing that separates winners from other people are they do it. They take the risk, they
Exactly.
take the chance, they put that ad up, they talk to the client. So that's the biggest thing is like no one really knows what they're doing.
Taking
They're just
action,
doing it.
right? That's the key word. They're taking
Yeah,
action.
taking action and to realize no one
Hoping
knows
for
what they're doing.
the best.
Yeah, exactly. So that would be my advice. Like we're all trying to figure it out.
That's awesome. Yes, I actually, that's a great way of putting it because no matter where you're at with yourself or your company, you're always trying to figure out how to get better or, move up. So I think that's
Exactly.
That's really true. No one really knows what they're doing half the time.
Exactly, exactly. So once we all realize that, makes us more confident. You know, like we think like we look at a Yegi and we're like, oh, she's killing it. It's like we don't know like the uncertainty you might have. But the thing is that you're still showing up every day. You're applying yourself. You're learning. So that's the difference.
Exactly. Well, thank you for, sharing that. I think that's very helpful for our listeners. But moving on, what would you say that's one thing that most people don't know about you or your brand?
One thing is, so they think it's just me. So what they don't know is the reason I'm in this industry in the first place was because of my wife. So we moved from Virginia to California and she needed clientele. So I was doing fitness marketing at the time. That was my first career was fitness marketing. And then she was like, "Can you try to run an ad for me, see if I can get some clients?" Because she had zero. So then I ran an ad, we were talking about. I took action. First week, she booked 25 people, and I was
Wow.
like, "Okay, we might be onto something," you know. So that's what
That's
a
a
lot of
great success story for
yeah.
her.
So then 2 months go by, she's still using using me pretty much, and then she's getting a ton of clients, doing really well, and then that's how we actually got started, all from an accident. Like this was
That's
not planned.
great.
This was not like this is not a planned thing. This is complete accident.
Yes, you may call it an accident or you got lucky with it, but I really do believe somehow you guys attracted that into your life and this is your thing now. So because of her business, you now have your own business, which is amazing to see that you guys can bounce back off of each other's success. That's
For sure,
that's
for
very
sure. Yeah,
inspiring.
she's helping me every day, and she's helping us grow, and it's a great team effort, you know.
That's great. Well, awesome. So what is let's see, what is one challenge that you guys overcame but initially thought it would have been impossible to
The
do that?
the biggest challenge was people thinking we're a scam and what is this guy doing in the lash industry? So that was really tough to overcome that. They're like, why, what are you doing here? And what do you do? You know, so that was the biggest challenge for us to
It's
overcome. But you know,
really hard. I can't imagine because it's really hard because like I personally get so many scam emails and calls and
yes,
after a while you just start ignoring them, right? And there is a lot of people out there who are also they're not scams but they're trying to get to the audience, which in your case are the lash artists, and they have a hard time like just making that breakthrough. So how did you overcome that?
yeah, honestly, I
And
mean,
how are you still currently like trying to overcome that?
yeah. So the biggest thing that I take pride in is, you know, being vulnerable and being fully transparent. Like our business model is very simple. You know, I get straight to the point and I'm very transparent. I have nothing to hide. I share everything on Zoom. So transparency and reviews. You know, I always get a testimonial every time. So we have over 100 reviews and we got that in a very short amount of time. So, you know, just doing my best to be, like I said, just transparency 100%.
How long have you been in business for?
Only
For with
about
this specific?
Yeah, about May is gonna be 1 year.
Oh wow, congratulations.
Yes,
That's
yes.
the
So
hardest. The first year is the hardest to establish everything.
the first year was very hard, and the first 2 months were the most difficult, like getting people to trust us. So that was a lot of working for free, a lot of you know, trying to build trust in every way possible. So yeah, a lot of working for free and transparency. Those are the two ways to get to I overcame that.
That's great. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
What is, so this is unrelated to business or your specific niche, which is the social media marketing. But if in the world there's one thing that you can change with a magic wand, what would it be? And your answer doesn't have to be world peace because we all want that. But what would it be?
What would it be? It would, if I had a magic wand, it would be to honestly, hmm, that's a great question.
You can take a moment to think about
With a
it.
magic wand, what would it be and
Just
why?
one thing. And it could be something selfish, that's fine. We're not judging.
I'll try to keep it into the entrepreneur space, you know, and honestly, it would probably be to have everyone be fully transparent. That would be my thing, because a lot of people are always hiding things or trying to
Ooh, that
So
might be tricky. I don't know if I want everybody to be too
so
transparent.
so I would say that, because it's so, and to have people have more trust, because like right now everyone's so divided, this whole divide and conquer thing. So I think trust and transparency would fix a lot of things.
Okay, I like that. That's definitely one answer I haven't gotten before, so that's great.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing. Okay, so for anyone that wants to know, how did you get started? You did share that it was a happy accident with putting your ads up for your wife, and then you got started from there. But can you give us like a little bit more details on your first few steps for since it is an entrepreneurial podcast for people who are interested out there to, like what first few steps they need to take if they have like an idea or a dream?
Yeah, so first few steps would, first off, I'm very disciplined. So first few steps is, every day I wake, I'm not saying to do this, this is just what I do. But the thing is, structure equals freedom. So number one is have a good structure. So I wake up every day, 2:55. I'm in the gym by 4, home by 6, and I work from 6 to 12. So first things first, have structure, and then that
Wait,
will give
what
you
time do you wake up?
2:55
AM?
a.m. every day, 7 days a week.
What?
Yes.
Okay, wow.
So
Super overachiever. I'm surprised you're walking and you're alive right now. If I don't get enough sleep, I just want to kill myself.
yeah, but no, I sleep early though. But I sleep early, so that's the key to waking up early is sleeping early. I'm in bed by 7. I read till 8, and I sleep at 8. I'm like the
Wow, very
yeah
disciplined.
yeah. So very so that's the key. That's one of the biggest keys to growing for me was having structure initially, and then um just honestly doing everything. Like people say to try to to be careful. So I'm just like just do whatever. So for I have had at least 10 different businesses that just did horrible. Whether it was personal training, fitness marketing, moving company, so I tried a whole bunch of different things until something stuck.
To
So
see
I
what
found, and to always be to like one of my favorite things to do is to help people quit their job. So getting over that gap of the fear and to figure out what's the worst that could happen. um that's what I'll tell people. Like everyone's like, I don't want to quit my job and then do my thing. I'm like, okay, what's the worst that could happen? Are you gonna go homeless? Probably not. Are you gonna die? Probably not. Can you get the job back if it doesn't work out? Yes. So then just do it. So
Yes,
that
yes. That's honestly great advice. It is easy for some people to come to that conclusion and to have that mentality, but it does take some work. So
it's
it does
terrifying.
sound very ideal, For some people it's way more terrifying for them to be like, I'll be fine, let's quit. So but definitely like I agree, and I think that's one big thing that entrepreneurs need to learn is having that mentality before anything else. So thank you, for making that clear that
and
literally any entrepreneur I've met, like I've noticed that this is a repetitive thing that they do have the personality of let's go for it, it's gonna be fine, and most of the time when we do that it does end up being fine.
and
But
keep
of
in
course,
mind, so sorry to cut
yeah,
you off. Keep in
go
mind,
ahead.
it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. But the way I like to look at it is like we're all pretty young. Whether you're like I'm 25 right now, whether you're 25, 35, 45. If we do nothing for the next 7 years and just fail, learn, grow, fail, learn, grow, fail, learn, grow, and then 7 years later we could be in a completely different position. So that's one thing I
Especially
like to
when you're young, you have a lot of time to make mistakes.
a
So
lot of
go
time.
for it. Yes.
Exactly. And of course there's different situations, right? Kids, family, stuff like that. But so that's what I would say. Just
That's a whole other topic that, we can talk about, but
yeah.
let's move forward. Actually, that's a great podcast. I need to find an expert in that area to invite them over. But let's go back to the social media marketing. So, exactly what do you do to help lash artists book appointments? So, I do have a lot of people who are connected to me, and a lot of them do ask that question. I'm brand new in the city or to the industry. What do I do, right? So you're saying that you can help them achieve that initial getting booked phase, which is again the hardest part for new lash artists or new service providers. What and because I think what you do applies to different like positions
100%.
as well. So can you share exactly what you do to accomplish this for them?
Yeah, for sure. So, and like I said, our business model is very simple. Like Albert Einstein said, if you can't explain it to a 5-year-old, you don't understand it. So, what exactly how we help people accomplish things is we will run their paid ads for them and get them 10 to 30 people every day reaching out to them, asking to book an appointment or for more info about what they do. So
So
that,
what are these paid ads you're talking about?
yeah,
Can
so
you
but
be more specific?
for sure, yeah. So as far as paid ad goes, so when people think of paid ads, they think it's boost post or promotion post. So I want everyone to know, do not do boost and promotion posts. Those do
What's
not
the
work.
difference?
Yeah, so boost promotion posts are really good for getting you eyeballs and getting eyes on your page. But if you run an ad, a paid ad through Ads Business Ads Manager, which is the back end of Facebook, which you can also run Instagram ads through it, there you can get super detailed and targeted as far as finding the right clientele for you, whether you're looking for lash clients, nails, hairs, fitness, anything. So you can get detailed. You can target age groups, interest, what movies they watch, what TV shows they watch. So you can get very detailed with the business manager compared to the boost post.
And have you noticed like a significant difference between the amount of people coming in with the I guess with the back end setup ads versus the boosted ads that people do from, for themselves?
100%. Yeah, with the boost post, it's very open and it kind of just shows your page to whoever might look at it, but it doesn't convert to paid clients, because first off, they might be very far from your location. You can't get really targeted with location and you can't target your ideal clientele. So boost post is good if you're trying to get maybe some more followers or eyeballs or like get a, a post to get much more views. But as far as converting to clientele, I highly, highly recommend Ads
It's
Manager.
not as targeted. That's what you're
One,
saying. Even though, because with
100%.
the boosted post, we can select like a city or a state, and then we can do like a bigger age group. But what you're saying is the boosted posts are not as targeted, and it's just the way they run is not as effective as an actual setup post.
As far as converting to clientele, yes, 100%. Because
Converting
like you were
to
saying, you can get age group, location, and that's as far as the boost post goes. But with the ads manager, you can get movie shows, interest. Have they bought anything on Facebook the past 7 days? You can get like insanely, like if they have a birthday coming up, are they married? Are they single? What's their income bracket? You could target like super detailed, kind of in a scary way. So that's why I highly recommend Ads Manager.
Okay, perfect. So how about anything else? Do you work with Google Ads as well, or is it mainly the Facebook's ads manager that you use?
So mainly, so the way I like to do, I like to be an expert on one thing. So yeah, for me, it's solely Facebook and Instagram paid ads. Google ads work great, but I
But
just
they're different.
they're different exactly, and I think they are more targeted. I would recommend them for like hairstylists, but like nails and lashes, you're scrolling. It's a little more targeted for hairstylists. That might be better for them to get ranked up. But yeah, I mean, Yelp reviews are great. All social medias and stuff like that are great, but I want to be an expert on paid
Yeah,
ads.
so for you, you specialize on mainly the Facebook and Instagram ads through the Facebook Ads Manager. I think they're called Meta Ads
Meta,
Manager,
no,
right?
they switched it on us. They switched it on us.
They
Yeah,
did
Meta.
switch it on us. Yes, but from my experience too within the business too, all of that works really well. And honestly, I have noticed a big difference between our boosted posts versus like the actual setup posts from an ads manager, and but also Google Ads too. Like they work well too. They're kind of similar, but they do target on a different platform. So
Exactly.
anybody that's, I guess, interested in doing that too, so you would also find somebody else who helps you with Google Ads. But specifically, we have Shohab here to talk through like the Instagram and Facebook. And like he said, I do believe most of our target audience is on Instagram and Facebook. Now we do see a little bit of a shift to TikTok, but
Yes.
from my experience too, like I've noticed the ones that really would convert to customers will probably be through Instagram and Facebook. TikTok, even though it's fun and it can be get a lot of exposure, I haven't noticed as much if they would convert to customers. But again, very new. We're still doing our
Exactly.
analytics on the back end for us too. But that's awesome.
Are you running TikTok ads?
We're no, we're only doing the ones that we can do ourselves. Honestly, we haven't had a lot of time to do it very professionally just yet. So we've just been doing kind of the boosted TikTok ads. And I know there's a way to also do it through our Shopify platform to partner with TikTok, but haven't fully dived in yet.
I'll definitely love to help because yeah, I'm working on the TikTok ads now. We're gonna launch that service probably in
Oh,
the next
great.
few months. But the thing that scares me is TikTok and Instagram gets us the younger clientele that might not be returning or serious clients. Facebook is by far the best clientele as far as they're a little bit older, they're a little bit more serious, and those usually end up being long-term clients. Instagram and TikTok is a lot of younger age group demographic and window
Who might not
shoppers.
have the budget for a luxury
Exactly.
service like
And window shoppers, you know?
no, that
So
makes sense, honestly. So thank you for sharing. Like that was your finding when you were working with the ads, and I would have to agree, honestly. But this is also a reminder for me as well because sometimes we forget about Facebook. In the younger generations, we forget about Facebook because we're not on it as much. It's not as trendy, so we do push to do our more posts on Instagram and TikTok nowadays, but there is a missed opportunity on Facebook. So
100.
that's something that I appreciate as the reminder for you too, for us too, because we can push a little on Facebook as well. I don't even know the last time I looked at our Facebook, to be honest.
Honestly, the best thing is you don't even have like I don't use Facebook. I have never used it. So, but the thing is, you could just have a page connected to your Instagram. So every time you post on Instagram, it goes directly to your Facebook page, and you can just forget about it. But
Kind of what we do, yeah.
yeah, but Facebook owns Instagram. So if you run an ad on Facebook, they'll eventually find you on Instagram, and through the ads manager, you can just run Instagram ads through that. But at least it's very targeted. So, but yeah, that's the best thing about Facebook. A lot of people don't use it, so it's like a blue ocean. People forgot about it, you know?
Yes, yes. But a lot of people are still on Facebook. And like you said,
Exactly.
maybe the little bit older generation that is ready and stable and has the money to spend on services like eyelash extensions.
Yes.
Um, awesome. So one question about that, because I know that's what like my like listeners would be wondering about. How much budget or how much money would you need to get started with your company to start at least like the baseline to start advertising with the ads manager?
Yeah. I always recommend as long as you're comfortable spending about $20 to $26 a day on Facebook, you'll be ready to go. Because that's about 180 a week. That's one book client a week. And then that covers your ad budget. Some of my clients, the first 3 to 5 days, on average, book between 5 to 15 people. So if you book 6 people in the first 5 days, you just made your ad budget for the whole month, and then everything else is just profit from there. So as long as you're comfortable with that, it's definitely beneficial. And if you don't have that budget, honestly, Instagram is a great avenue to take. And one of the things I think I was reading earlier today is the biggest mistake I see lash artists make on Instagram is they don't put their name in their post at all, like in their page, so you don't even know their name, and they don't post themselves. Those are the two biggest mistakes I see people making. That once you change that, you'll start booking a lot more on Instagram, building and what you and I talked about, trust, building trust.
Yes. So can you explain that again? I'm not too clear. So what do you mean putting their name on their post? Like on the physical
On
picture?
their page, I'm sorry. Yeah, like on their page, it might just say beauty lash bar, and then you won't even know who the owner is or the name, even though they're a
Oh,
solo
like the
artist.
person
The
behind
person,
the
yeah,
company.
behind the company. So that's the one of the biggest mistakes I see people make. We don't even know who owns the company. So that's one. And posting themselves, whether it's getting on reels. I know a lot of people are uncomfortable with the camera, getting on
Yeah.
reels. take a picture. So that's the two biggest things. If they didn't have the budget, make sure you're really doing the right things on Instagram to get the most clientele.
Yes, because like I'm sure you're mentioning these things because as humans, we do like to see the human side of a business too. We want to have that connection and build that trust, like you mentioned. So I think that's why those probably do well if we do see the person behind the company.
Yeah, because people
Those
buy.
are good points.
Yeah, people buy from people they like. We don't buy from the Cokes or the Nike anymore. We buy from Yegi or Sohayb. We buy from people we like. So I think big businesses are in for a very tough
And that's
time.
the transition I've been kind of seeing
Yes.
too. So that's very good to be aware of and keep in mind for all our listeners and all the small business owners out there who, need a little extra hope. It looks like things are going more our way
It
compared to
is.
big
It,
corporations.
yeah, so that and if big corporations don't catch up with that. I mean, why do you think like the insurance companies have Progressive Flow or the Lizard or the Geico, right? The Gecko thing. So because they're putting a face to the company. So if big businesses don't make that shift, the small businesses are going to just take over.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Awesome. So what are the Um, we did talk about this a little bit, but I don't know if there's anything else you want to share. But what are the key things that someone should remember when creating an ad?
Yeah, key things would be don't have too many words on the actual creative. Keep the words for the ad copy. So that's one big mistake. Number two is make the ad copy conversational. Don't just say, "Hey, lashes 20% off, book an appointment below." So that's like the worst ad copy. The ad copy needs to be about how it's going to benefit the end user. So ad copy needs to be conversational about them, and then the ad is one thing, but then the back end process that everyone forgets about. Everyone's so worried about let me get a good picture or a good ad that works, but if you get a ton of messages and you don't know how to convert them or you don't have a process on the back end, you're not going to book anybody, no matter how good or bad the ad is. Does that make sense?
So, do you guys help with that process as well, or you do the ads and then leave it to
To
the
them.
to them? Yeah.
No, yeah, so of course we'll 100% help with the back end. So we automate it. So they'll click the ad and then they go into your Meta Business Suite. So then we'll find out whether they've had it before or not automatically. So like two automated questions. Then we have a script or fundamentals that we teach when messaging to book the actual appointment. And as long as you follow the fundamentals, you'll be good.
Okay, so you do set them up or at least guide them of exactly what
One,
they need to do once that prospect kind of comes to them in the Facebook Messenger. And
100%.
I just want to explain for people who are not too familiar with the back end ad suite. So the what he meant by automation is he can set it up or we can set it up where based on what the customer says, it automatically can reply to them. So if they say, I'm interested in eyelash extensions, it will say, okay, great. Would you like classic, volume, or hybrid, right? So it's really cool how technologies advance and people like Shohab can really like help set all that up to make our lives easier. Because when you're provide like service provider, you don't want to worry about all that back end stuff. Okay, so you might even be able to do all that yourself, and this is my advice from starting small and growing is yes, I wanted to do everything myself and I want to like save as much money, right? But at the end of the day, that's taking time away from me, and if this is something that's new to me, by the time I learn it, by the time I do it, it's gonna definitely not be like effective and cost effective for my time. I rather like hire somebody to do that for me and I can focus on what I do best and if that's like providing the
And
service.
and one more thing too, as far as like you learning and getting caught up on it, while you're learning and getting caught up on the other end, you might have a professional like myself that's spending well over $100,000 a month on ads, working with over 100 people a month. So I know where the industry is going as far as how to make the creatives or what to
Exactly.
say. So by the time you catch up, I'll be another 3 miles ahead because I'm doing it every day and I'm spending so much money learning what's working in the industry, you know?
Okay, awesome. So, we are running short on time. I want to end the podcast here. I think everybody got a lot of good information about ads, where they can get started and why they should consider it. Can you tell them how they can reach you, and also what is your consultation process? And I don't know if you want to share. You said they need about a budget about like $26 a month, a day to spend on their ads, but is there a fee that you charge, or do you share that off the top, or would they need to set up an appointment with you to get all that figured out?
Yeah, no, for sure. As far as following us, so just follow at Lash Launch, and then we have a landing page. Just go into the page, read it, see if you like it, and then book your consultation. And as far as budget goes, everyone truly, like I'm not saying this, everyone truly is different. Because some people only need 5 or 10 people, some need 25 or 40. So on that consultation call, we'll come up with the best game plan to see what benefits you the most. I would definitely recommend if you don't have at least 1,000 to spend, which is very low, and that's only 5 or 10 clients. It might be very beneficial for you to book the consultation and see if it's the right move for you.
Okay, great. And just a general rule of thumb for small business owners out there, it is good to spend at least 10% of your revenue on ads or on marketing. So it's 1,000 depending on how much you're making with your current clients or how much you hope to make and to invest within your business. It does seem actually reasonable, if not, very doable
And
for a business to get going.
and
And
very
sometimes,
profitable
and very profitable, yes. And
if done right.
if done right, okay. Well, you're gonna have to prove that to everybody that reaches out to
For
you.
sure.
So that part, you will have to show them so they can come back to you. But thank you so much for being on the podcast, and thank you for your time. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here, and we'll be in touch to talk about other things.
For sure. Yegi, thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to working with you in the future. And again, thank you so much.
Thank you for listening. Please rate and review this podcast. Follow and engage with us on social media under the Yegi Project. And if you're interested in being a guest, email info@theyegiproject.com. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes.